Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back if you're back, and welcome to if you're here for the first time. My name is Taboka and I have so many different kinds of videos, but this specific one you have clicked on is a Bible series, and we are going through the story about the son. So if you haven't watched any of the previous videos, you might want to go ahead and go and catch up. You have a week to do that, so no rush. Please carry on and finish this video, and then you can watch them in your own time. Alright, so please like the video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It will help me and it will help lots of other people. Okay, so let's get into it. So we have been going through short snippets of the story, so today we are only going through one verse, but there's lots of notes that I made on it, so I'll go ahead and read. So we ended with 18. I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants. So it's really sad, because at this point, when you've done so many bad things, when we've done so many terrible things, so every high has a low. So this is sort of like the low of the story. You don't feel worthy, you don't feel like you deserve God's forgiveness, you don't feel like you can go into God's presence. I'll get to my notes so that I don't rumble too much. I am no longer worthy. We don't need anyone to tell us how this feels, because we have all felt it before. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you're yet to. Maybe you're feeling it right now. You can't face God. You don't want to know why. You don't want to. You know why? Because God is holy. And though we can look pure before everyone else, before God, it is black and white. It's an X-ray vision of all our sins. We can hide in front of everyone else, but God can see through us. So that's why we don't want to be in His presence. This feeling, the devil loves this feeling, because he comes and distracts us from God. He doesn't want your filth. God doesn't want your filth. He won't forgive you. You are too deep in your sin now. Just continue. You can't stop now. See, God sees your filth and He doesn't like it. So those are things the devil will tell you in this lowest of lowest points. And here's where we can turn back, or like the lost son say, I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your servants. So we go to God and we're like, I'm so filthy. Sometimes we don't even go to God. This is a bad point where we make that decision to just continue, because we feel like, I'm already doing this. This is my life. Everyone knows that this is me. Tomorrow I'm going to say, no, I'm not doing those things anymore. Everyone's going to be like, yeah. We used to laugh at those people together. So now you're one of them. We know everything you've done. You've done this, that. You can't now come and say, this is bad, this is bad. These are things you used to do. So those are all the voices that the devil will give us. But you were the one who encouraged me to start doing these things. So how come now you're saying don't do these things? And all those different voices. But he got the better side of the two choices. He decided to go back, which was the best decision he made in such a long time. So out of the two decisions I mentioned earlier, there's two. You either choose to stay in this life, or you choose to change and move on to better life. But the voices in his head told him there was no way you can call yourself a son after all you did. You are not worthy. So whose voice are you listening to? Whose voices are you listening to? Are you listening to God saying, come back home, come home? Maybe you're not going back, maybe you're coming for the first time. Why are you listening to the voices that say, dude, we were together in this? Maybe his old friends even came back and said, yo, your father is not going to like this. He gave you all that money, you squandered it, and you want to go where? Back to him? Well, the devil is telling you all those terrible things. You can't do this. You're part of it. You are the boss of us all. You are the coolest of us all. And now you want to start speaking against this life. Who are we going to go out with on Friday if you say that's not a life you want to live with? And whatever it is. So, whose voice are you listening to? As we end today is something I want you to remain with and think about before our next one. So I'll see you in the next one.